Now, keeping the same phrase, let's see what we can do with the A. Now, it becomes a little more difficult in that when you get on the thicker strings, bending up from a half step, you have to be a little more diligent, a little more careful, because it does require more effort than you know, the other strings. So you just have to be sure that you're getting your intonation correct, you know. But it can sound really nice either way. So now when you hear it like that, it's obvious that you're bending up from a half step because you can hear part of the bend. Whoops, that was kind of neat. It's not what I intended. Now, some people like to do that. So if you were doing it on the D note, it would be like... And I don't know, it kind of ruins the surprise for me. I like to hear it right in there, almost as if you're going to hear like this. Just picking it. You can go... And that's the bent note. I mean, it sounds the same. You could hear a little bit because my bend was slow there. It's the same, but once you start the vibrato, then it's like a sweet little surprise, you know? You know, whatever. But bending up from a half step down is nice. You can do it on the C also. I kind of like those phrases because it almost sounds like it's so uncertain. You know, when you hear... I don't know, something about that really sounds very kind of uneasy. I kind of like that because it adds a, you know, tiny bit of unpredictability, even though you're probably sure that you're going to end up on an A. You know? Now I think vibrato is very important. And, well, just to let you know, some of my favorite kind of sound in vibrato is really kind of wide. I really like that. And I also like when it's kind of frantic, too. I really like those kind of qualities in someone's vibrato. And some guitarists that have really wide vibrato, the obvious choice is Yngwie, because he really gets in there and does a lot of damage in his vibrato, you know. And also Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden. I think Adrian Smith for me was the guy that I really grabbed onto as far as the sound of vibrato, even before Yngwie, I think, because I really liked the way he would dig in, and he had such a wide sound. And but that doesn't mean, no, just because it's wide doesn't mean it's good. There are other kinds of vibrato that can be really kind of frantic at times, like Steve Morse or Jason Becker has done that. He did a lot of that with his tremolo too, which sounded really nice. Sean Lane kind of covers every spectrum of phrasing, I think. And Marty Friedman can get pretty wide, and I really like those kind of sounds, you know. But whether it's wide or whether it's you know, short and frantic, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you own it when you do it, okay? Because nothing is worse than hearing some guy shred, and then right on the last note, when he does his vibrato, it sounds like he doesn't even know how to hold the instrument. I mean, it's like he doesn't know what to do at that slow of a speed. You know what I'm talking about? It's just so weak, and it ruins the whole thing for everyone, I think. So whatever your choice for vibrato, just, you know, kick ass with it, whatever it's going to be, you know. And as long as it's something that, the more that it's a natural extension of kind of who you are as a guitarist, the better it's going to sound. It doesn't matter if it's really wide or if it's really shallow or if it's somewhere in between. You know, you just have to do it, you know. And it's cool to experiment with other kinds of things, but in the end, I think you're just going to go with what sounds best to you, really. And that could be kind of a frantic, or maybe more kind of a sweet kind of, whatever it happens to be. But experiment in your own playing as far as how to do it for yourself, especially if you're interested in bending up from a half step, because you will need to work on the intonation to get it to sound right, because otherwise it could be like, or you don't want to, you don't want that to happen. So always give yourself the target note first, and then just match it with your bend.